Imagine this. You walk into a doctor's office today with a stomachache. The doctor listens carefully, smiles, and says, "The solution is simple, just let one rip." Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? But for thousands of years, across civilizations that never even met each other, people genuinely believed something remarkably similar. They believed trapped gas wasn't just uncomfortable. They believed holding it in could make you sick, and releasing it could actually save your life. This is the strange, forgotten history of how farting became medicine. Our story begins nearly 4,000 years ago. In ancient Mesopotamia, to physicians there, the human body worked like a flowing river. Everything had to stay in balance. Everything had to keep moving. If something became trapped, especially gas, it was seen as a dangerous sign that the body's natural flow had been disturbed. Doctors prescribed herbal remedies to help release it. But there was one important rule. Inside sacred temples, passing gas wasn't just impolite. It was considered deeply disrespectful. Centuries later, ancient Greece took this idea even further. Hippocrates, the man often called the father of medicine, believed suppressing gas was genuinely unhealthy. According to him, trapped wind could build pressure inside the body, cause pain, and even contribute to disease. His advice was surprisingly straightforward. Don't fight your own body. If your body wants to release something, let it. The Romans inherited many of these medical beliefs, and considering their enormous feasts, filled with rich food, heavy meat, and endless wine, this became a surprisingly common topic. Instead of embarrassment, many Romans simply accepted it as part of normal health. Then came medieval Europe, where this strange belief became official medical teaching. Doctors followed something called humoral theory, the idea that the body was controlled by 4 internal fluids, and staying healthy meant keeping those fluids perfectly balanced. Gas, known as flatus, was believed to travel through the body if it wasn't released. Some physicians even claimed it could rise all the way to the brain, creating what they dramatically called corrupt vapors. And this wasn't just folklore. A real medical textbook, the Regimen Sanitatis Salernitanum, written by the famous medical school of Salerno in the 12th century, directly advised people never to hold it in. For centuries, European medical education literally taught that farting was good for your health. These beliefs even shaped everyday manners. During the Renaissance, the Dutch scholar Erasmus of Rotterdam offered practical etiquette advice. If you needed to pass gas in public, cover the sound with a polite cough. Simple. But here's the surprising part. In that very same advice, he also warned that holding it in could be medically harmful. Even great writers like Chaucer and Shakespeare turned the subject into comedy, because apparently, people found it just as funny hundreds of years ago as we do today. Then came the darkest chapter of all, the Black Death. Europe was devastated. Millions died. No one understood bacteria. No one knew about viruses. Instead, doctors believed in something called miasma theory, the idea that disease spread through poisonous, foul-smelling air. If bad air caused disease, then maybe a stronger smell could fight it. It sounds unbelievable today, but some physicians actually advised people to breathe into a jar, seal it, and inhale it later. If plague symptoms appeared, the logic was simple. One terrible smell might somehow defeat another. Around the same time, some people even bathed repeatedly in urine, believing it could protect them from illness. Every one of these bizarre treatments shared the same basic idea. Disease was something trapped inside, or floating through the air, and the cure was to force it out. This wasn't just a European belief. In ancient Persia, physicians created detailed dietary advice to prevent excessive gas and improve digestion. Interestingly, some of those ancient food recommendations still make sense today, not because of mystical theories, but because modern nutrition happens to support some of the same foods. Sometimes, the observation was right, even when the explanation wasn't. And that's really the reason this belief survived for thousands of years. Across cultures, across continents, even among civilizations that never contacted one another. These doctors were careful observers. People suffering from painful bloating really did feel relief. After releasing gas, the experience was real. Their explanation wasn't. Today, science paints a completely different picture. We know intestinal gas is produced by trillions of gut bacteria, breaking down the food we eat. Not trapped winds, not corrupt vapors, not poisonous air. And here's the unexpected twist. Modern research suggests healthy gas production can actually be a sign of a healthy gut microbiome. So buried beneath thousands of years of myths is a tiny grain of truth, just not the one ancient doctors imagined. It won't cure the plague. It won't stop airborne disease, but it does remind us that sometimes even the strangest ideas from history begin with people simply trying to understand the human body. So the next time someone jokes that letting one out is good for your health, remember, that joke has a real history, stretching back thousands of years, from Mesopotamian priests to Hippocrates to medieval physicians and desperate plague doctors, all searching for answers to an invisible enemy.